Johan Kastner, welcome to Business Insider. We're excited to have you here. I'm still got to get a test drive of one of your trikes, but we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the start of this. It's been Oz Trikes.
Yes.
So what does Oz Trikes do?
Well, we design from the ground up, develop, manufacture three-wheel motorbikes, trikes. What is the Oz Trike, our own brand, and it's a recreational lifestyle vehicle, not just another mode of transport. It's cruise down the road and smell the roses.
Well, reading the notes, it talks about freedom, and I thought that was a misprint, as in three.
Yeah,
it's three wheels and you have fun, I guess.
That's what it is. Like I always say, the trike as such, it's not a necessity. It's the fun of the bike without the worries of the bike. It's basically for the rider. You got a comfortable seat, and you don't have to balance. You don't have to worry about anything. You enjoy the cruise. It's not a speed machine. It's a cruiser, and the same for the passenger. It's like you get the armchair seating position, and you're watching a movie while you go down the road looking at the scenery.
And where did the idea come from?
Trikes originated in the 60s, 70s in America with like the Easy Rider theme. It made its way to Germany back then in probably the early 70s, where people started to tinker around with some of the copies from America. And that's when I got involved in 88. I had this idea to get a trike, and
that was after your accident.
Yeah. Well, motorbike was out of the question, and hence the idea of three wheels. You can't fall off. You don't need your legs. And make
So it's a very selfish decision you've made.
It's that was the start of it, and that's when I got on the road, or back on the road on three wheels in 1988. And it kind of inspiration comes from there.
Yeah, excellent. You talk in your material. You talk about pride in craftsmanship. Is that a key part of what Oz Trikes is about? Is that why it's been successful?
Yeah, well, you got to treat each trike as it is your own in the detail, in the quality, in what you do, and then. Over the years you redefine and you make things better as you go along, and I guess if you stick to those basic rules, if you're happy with your product, the customer is happy with your product, it means more customers.
And your distribution network, how does that work around Australia?
We got an agent in every state. We try to bring our product closer to the customer. But a lot of people make a trip to the factory just to try it all out and get a good idea, and then they know what to expect when they come back and pick it up.
Are there any competitors in this space in Australia?
There's few smaller companies who have a go or do a little bit, but not to the level where we are in manufacturing. And trikes is all our business. Like we're not doing anything else. All we do is trikes, and that's what we concentrate on.
And it is at the top end, high quality, high technology trikes.
Yes. And we do say we are number one, and we got every right to do so.
Indeed. Is there one thing you wish you knew now, or knew when you were starting, that you know now about business?
I guess if you would know it all, we wouldn't do a lot of things. It's a constant learning.
Ignorance is a wonderful thing.
It's a constant learning process, and if you have too many doubts in your head, you probably wouldn't get involved in a lot of things we do. So you gotta kind of jump in with a reasonable risk assessment and have a go. And
how did you do that risk assessment back in '88?
It was all driven by excitement.
So you're telling me it wasn't any risk assessment, you just thought it was a good idea at the time?
I knew from myself if I'm that excited about it, and I knew like back then in Germany it started to come true a bit, and you just got to ride a trike for a day or two and be around in the public, and that's enough to say,
to convince you this is okay.
I'm having a go at this.
Yeah. So you started up here at West Gosford?
Yes.
And how long ago was that?
That's 15 years ago.
Oh, that is the 15, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's it all started in 93, 94 when I first came out to Australia, but it took quite a few years to get ready to set up for starting the business, basically, and getting all the approvals and everything.
15 years in business here. Do you have a rant? Do you have something you would love to see fixed in business on the Central Coast, or even at a broader brush level?
What is sometimes hard is the usual red tape and those kind of things where I guess again if you don't know when you start, you gotta fight your way through. It's small business in manufacturing. I guess it's always a
you
bit
are
of a
unique
struggle.
because we forget that it looks like a lot of fun to build these things, but it is a manufacturing base, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, every nut and bolt and pieces still got to come from somewhere and put it together. So it's sometimes a struggle in getting the right supplies and everything, and the quality of material and all those things. But that's why we make most of it in-house, what gives us the control. So that's probably the only way or the best way to go about it.
Do you get much material or much of your input from other Central Coast suppliers or not?
It is mainly probably national suppliers. If it's in steel, we do have local suppliers in some of the machining or different things. We stay local where we can, but a lot of it is basically national suppliers.
We hear about skills shortages, and you have highly technical people on your team. How is there difficulty in finding those good people and keeping them here on the coast?
Well, we're lucky in one respect. Most of our crew is up to 10 years, 8 years with us, and I guess one of the keys is to look after them, create a good work environment, and then they stick around if they enjoy what they're doing, and that's one of the keys to have people who have been there for a long time because they know what you're doing.
And it is freedom. It is a fun product that you're selling, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's always good to see when one is finished and it goes for its first test drive, and then it gets handed over to the customer to drive it home to Victoria or to Queensland, and it's another one off into the sunset.
So how long does it take to build one?
We normally got a lead up time of 6 to 10 weeks, depending how busy it is, because we do make our own components, so it's all hand built.
Okay. Every one of your trikes is unique, and we've got a major push here on the coast to develop innovation. Yours is almost institutionalised. Every trike is different. Do you know anything about, or have you heard anything, or been invited to become part of Innovate Central or the innovation group?
No, I haven't heard about it.
Okay.
No. Don't
Well,
know nothing about
we
it.
might get you some information, because as someone who treats it as such a daily part of their manufacturing business, we need to get you involved. That would be cool, I think.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
When it comes to innovation, do you drive it consciously?
Part of it is feedback. Like that's why we need the direct contact with the customers or with people who may hire one, and they give us feedback, and then we don't change every day or each time we get a feedback. It all sort of gets collected, and then when it comes time to do an upgrade or a change, all those ideas and information gets put into it, and then there's always the big compromise between practicality and looks and style and all those things. So and that then gets to the next level of you got to follow what people want, because at the end of the day they spend the money, they are buying it. If we just have an idea and we make it that way and nobody wants it, nobody buys it. So you got to integrate all those things into your next model or next change in design.
So it's a sophisticated, new age, listen to your customer sort of thing.
It's simple, but that's what it's all about. Like you listen, you think about it, and then you gotta integrate it as good as possibly as you can, and make it workable and practical. Not every idea is a good idea, because you still got to be able to produce it or make it cost sufficient in building it. So,
and you deal with incredibly passionate people, both your staff who have been there so long they love it, and also your customers, your clients. They want to talk to you about it, I would think.
They're an inspiration. I mean, or even sometimes people, they buy a second-hand one and an older one, and you get it every day where people say, why don't you do this, or why don't you do that? And we do have our reasons why we do what we do, but you're not putting it on the shelf and never look at it again, and it's another idea given, what may be used or not be used in the future.
Do you have a formal moment, a spot in time where you say, we are going to do a new series, so let's bring all our ideas to the table, or do they emerge gradually over time?
Well, we're not a big company where you got all the different level of management and then the workforce. We all kind of work together, and we naturally set ourselves targets and plan and for what we want to achieve, but it all comes out while you go through your daily routine or your daily work, and it all flows into us as part of normal work to say, we do a new development, or we work on a new project, and that's how it all.
So do you have set projects, and I'm talking about the next, we're middle of 2012 now. Are you thinking about doing an upgrade to the trike generally in October or November, and you start planning that, or?
Well, we always work on something in designing, redesigning, or developing, and we are working on a project now, what we have been doing for the last few years, and it's slowly coming to a point where it has been doing its first tests and trials and all those things. It may be ready for the market in the next 12 months.
Okay.
So
we'll talk to you.
Look out.
Watch this space,
Yeah,
or at least
right.
get a helmet ready.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.